On a slightly serious note, the video that you're about to see is the third day in the heat chamber experiment thing. This is the day where I go into the cold tank, which is a tank of water that's about 14-15 degrees centigrade after running in 40-degree heat. The serious note is because I've seen this ad going round put out by RNLI, where they've got a first-person camera and it's of someone basically drowning in cold open water. With the experience that I've just had of going from hot into cold, yes, I can fairly see how easy, even as a swimmer, I'm an athlete, as a swimmer, I can see how difficult it would be to actually get your body moving, and you wouldn't be able to because it just shuts down so quick. So do be careful around open water, okay? But anyway, slightly cheerier note, let's just show the thing because it's long enough, I mean. All the stingnails have been cut off the sides, that's good. May remember last time out I said like, name all these songs. The person with the most, he got like 4 or 5, I can't remember which one, Colin Bloodworth, you can check him in the card right there, somewhere. Anyway, the third session, the first one was the intro, working different ways to cool yourself down afterwards. So the first one I was just sitting there doing sod all, so that was the neutral test. This time it's either hopping in a tub of really, really cold water or having an ice jacket or ice vest, whatever it's called. So, yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to the one where you jump into a load of cold water. Okay, I didn't have time to really talk about this when I got home last night, so I'll run you through what sort of happened. I want to record this for my sake, so this is just going to be like me talking for a few minutes. The experience with the heat chamber and cooling off tank, cold tank, whatever you want to call it. So the normal heat chamber running thing, same sort of time as last time, maybe a little bit shorter time. I think it was about 35-40 minutes I was running in there for, something like that. Then we came out of the heat chamber, got all the swell thing, then hopped into the cold thing. It's cold. Oh, flipping out. That feels colder than 14. Not gonna lie.
It's 14.6.
Oh, there you go. Tasty. 15 degrees, or 14.6 I think it was. That doesn't sound that cold, but when it's water and you've just been running in 40 degrees, it feels a lot colder. Yeah, so I got in that. Obviously, you sort of sit still in that because the more you move about, the colder you get. If you don't move, you get like this layer of like body heat around you, so you're actually kind of fine. Then obviously they have to mix it up to get rid of that layer so that you cool down quicker. The more you do this in cold water, the colder you'll be. Yeah, so I was sitting in that, then my vision started to like shake a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit, and I thought, this could be normal, so I'll just go with it. My brain's probably panicking a little bit because I've just gone from something really hot to really cold, so it's probably sending the muscles like, because I had a twitch in my leg or something as well, so I was just thinking, oh, it could just be my brain panicking a little bit. Oh, it's a sudden change in temperature. And then it started happening a lot more. I'm starting to feel a little bit dizzy, is that normal?
Dizzy?
Yeah, like I can see my vision starting to shake. I don't know if that's normal. Probably isn't. Like my vision's sort of shaking as if like a water was sort of like
slightly
shake.
Or feel very?
Very compared to normal. So I was sort of writing things down, checking on me, stirring the water, writing things down, checking on me, stirring the water. They then came over and said, "Your temperature's down already. That can't be right."
Done. Seriously?
Done. Sure enough, it was right. So they got me out, they're like, that was rather quick that you cooled down, like, rather quick. Yeah, and then they got me to dry off, just to warm back up to room temperature, you know, just sat down to warm back up. And my temperature kept going down and down. I'm not sure what it went to a low point of. I can't quite remember that, I wish I did. Yeah, it then sort of just started to level off, then it stayed there. It didn't sort of start coming back up. My vision was fine by this point. It was fine like a minute after I got out. At this point, if I held my arm up my hand would be shaking like that much, because I was looking at it against like a chair leg in the background, and I was seeing how much it moved either side of the chair leg. So every time I like half tense my body, like it would start shaking. And so they were starting to worry a little bit. They got me like a hot drink and something, chocolate bar, because chocolate helps. Apparently food helps keep the body warmth or do something like that. So chocolate bar, cup of tea. I don't like tea anyway, but drank because it's hot. Obviously with me lifting up my arm, tensing a muscle or something to lift up my arm, my hand's going like this while I'm trying to drink tea. They were like, are you sure the probe's definitely right? They got me to change it for a new probe because they really weren't sure about it and they're really wanting to change that. Put on like my normal dry clothes, which was shorts and shirt, which probably didn't help. Temperature started going up very, very slowly. Then they looked in cupboards for different things to help me that might warm up. There was one with these two really thick, like really itchy material blankets. They're horrible. One over my legs. And then about 5 minutes later, because my temperature was still really only going up really slowly, I got another one to put over my shoulders, and like I held it like this. I was feeling completely fine at this point, I just want to say. I was feeling completely neutral with temperature, neutral with everything. Normal how I felt like the last week or the week before, after I'd just done 40 minutes in the heat chamber. Apart from the shaking, which is why I was like, why am I still shaking? I feel normal, why are you doing this, body? After a long time of sitting like that, they then got me to sit on one of the bikes, the exercise bikes. At this point they were also debating about whether to take me to a hospital or something. I was like, but I feel completely fine. It's kind of weird. So they got me to sit on the one of the exercise bikes and just start pedaling with one of the really thick blankets still wrapped around me like this. Temperature started going back up a little bit quicker, but probably would have been better sitting in the heat chamber for a while, but I didn't want to do that because otherwise my body would be like, oh, it's cold again once I get back out. So I just kept pedaling until I warmed back up, which I did eventually. Yeah, after doing, I think it was 13 kilometers on the bike, I got back up to temperature. I got out of the heat chamber something like 7:45 or 7:20. Then I got in the tank at 7:10, and I got out of the tank at 7, which apparently is way too quick. I think that was the rough times. I shouldn't really say this, but I want to record it for my sake. Apparently that's really quick, and then it took me 2 full hours to get back up to temperature, because I got out of the cooling tank at the temperature I should really get out of it at, which is like my baseline or whatever they call it. And then it's because I started getting colder from there, which is why I had to warm back up to temperature. So it took me 2 hours after being in the cool tank to warm back up to the healthy, you're probably not going to pass out sort of temperature. It was kind of concerning at times because of the vision, the shaky vision. That was probably the most scary bit. It was as if I was doing this and not focusing my eyes on the lens. So if my eyes went with my head, this would be my vision. Anyway, that will be the end of this. If you got through the whole of this without jumping anything, I'd recommend you watch last week's if you haven't already on this, or even the first week's one. There's an info card here sort of thing. Consider subscribing.